As much as I like chaos, can we not have too much chaos? Because I want bragging rights about being smart and predicting the right teams to win all the time.
No.
Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah,
And I'm Will.
and we're going to go over Week 4 preview, looking into the next week on who is going to win and who's going to not win, and who's going to disappoint us, probably.
Everybody.
Everybody. So I guess just jump right into this. We got the Cowboys visiting the Giants on Thursday night. This should be a Cowboys win.
I'm going Dallas literally because the Giants got their first win. Dallas has really struggled to get their wins. Their only win is against the Browns, who the Giants also just beat. So, I mean, they're kind of on equal footing right now. But I still think Dallas is the better team, and looking at how those two have been over the past few years, I think Dallas has a leg up. They just really have not been convincing of anything.
No.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go Dallas because literally every part of that team. I think your one concern is that how they're gonna hold up against that D line for the Giants, but
Be a little rough.
that could cause some problems. But other than that, I think the Cowboys are well matched. Have been for the past few years. So,
I'm not worried about them yet.
jeez, I hope not. I'm getting these guys on prime time again.
Do something with your lives.
How many times are we gonna get Cowboys Giants on prime time?
Not enough, apparently. Looking at the Sunday slate, the noon games, we got the Saints visiting the Falcons. I think the Saints are going to win this one because, actually,
This one's tough.
this one actually is tough. I didn't really think about this. So the Saints are coming off a loss against the Eagles, and the Falcons are coming off a loss against the Chiefs. This one might be interesting. Falcons have the home field advantage, but I don't know. Their fans haven't been showing up a lot. So this was difficult.
I'll say I'm gonna go with the Saints. Because I still after the first 2 weeks and then even last week, even though they didn't win, they still earned a lot of my respect.
Fair.
And again, the Falcons, I think, also are a team worthy of respect. That you've lost to the Chiefs. You've played Chiefs, Eagles, and who did they play week 1? Steelers.
Yeah.
Who were 3-0. You've had a tough schedule as well. It's gonna be tough. I'm going Saints literally for the reason is I guess they've shown a little more promise. Falcons are still a little rocky when it comes to how they've been playing. Obviously, it's gonna come down to game plan and stuff, which is what makes this difficult. Is you can't just look at the roster and go, "This roster's better."
Better, yeah.
So.
I am impressed with the Falcons as of late. I might go with Falcons on this one.
Right.
Only because that secondary has been impressive. This with Bates and Simmons. I don't know. Kirk Cousins has been mostly back to form, I would like to think, especially with the use of Bijan and Pitts recently, and with Mooney and excuse me, and with all those players on offense. I don't know. I think they might have the edge here.
Yeah,
They're more built for winning.
I mean, that offense is built to put up points. They just haven't. They put up more than 20 once.
Yes.
this year. Again, their defense looks good.
Yeah.
It's just that offense has kind of been concerningly slow.
They have played the Steelers, and they have
This-
played the Chiefs
And the Eagles.
and the Eagles.
who-
So those are 3 good teams that's hard to put up more than 20 against. So
Yeah, the counter argument, Saints also haven't really, I don't think, have put up more than 20 or allowed more than 20. So,
this is also true.
and
So
they've
we'll
put up
see.
numbers. So it'll be interesting. And I'm not saying I'm saying I could go either way as well. I'm just saying counter argument Saints.
Counter.
But then on to the Rams at Bears. I don't
Rams.
honestly know with either of these teams what to do,
73% of people think the Rams are going to win.
which is interesting because the Bears are favored betting wise at 2.5.
Yeah.
So
This might be one where, because I did say this before the season, that the Bears were going to beat the Rams because they have a good defense. Because that's how they did it in 2018, where we thought the Rams were going to beat that Bears defense because we thought that the Bears defense was not going to be up to par with that offense that they were going to face. Well, you're facing a weaker Rams offense against a very good Bears defense. Not saying that the Rams offense is bad. It's just it's not the same. It's not the same without Cupper with Kua.
yeah, they're banged up. They're missing a decent amount of pieces. So then, you lean on the fact that the Rams probably won't put up as many points against that Bears defense. They just have to stop the run, really. Then you look at the flip side. The Bears offense is really struggling and has lost them been probably responsible for both their losses.
I agree.
So can the Bears clean up the offense, make less mistakes, cause less turnovers, actually be able to run the ball because the run game has been atrocious. And you said you were going with Bears.
I was going with Bears.
I can't think of how the Rams will beat them, but I won't be surprised if they beat them.
Yeah.
I don't see what the Rams will do to earn the win necessarily. I feel like if the Bears lose, they're gonna give it away.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That one's gonna be tough. Maybe not as tough as this week or as the next game though.
Jesus. Vikings visiting the Packers. This one, the only reason why I have the Vikings winning in this one is because the Packers are still without Jordan Love. I don't. If Love was in this game, this is a Packers victory.
I mean, I don't even know that I would give it to him that easily. Just because the Vikings have looked so good. Obviously, again, the Packers have looked good even with Malik Willis because they've allowed the ball to be spread around and they've utilized their weapons. They've allowed their defense to pick up the slack.
The Vikings have beaten the Texans and the Niners, so you can't. They beat up a fully healthy Texans team and a not so beat up 49ers team. So I have to give them their props. Like, the Vikings have convinced me that they're probably more prepared for this game than people give them credit for. I do think the Vikings will win this one. However, if they win this one, they're losing the one in the later half of the season against the Packers. Because the Packers will have Jordan Love by then, and the Vikings will probably not be prepared for that one. I think this is the one where Vikings do sneak out a win here.
I think this is going to be a really close game just because I think you see Packers, again, rely on that run game. You're probably not going to see Malik Willis throw more than 20 times. If he can have a high percentage, completion percentage, high percentage, whatever, you probably see this stay really close.
Yes.
I am going to give the nod to the Vikings just because you're asking a lot of that defense, who's done a lot. The Packers defense has done a lot.
They've done wonders on that.
Again, 7 turnovers in 3 games. If you can force turnovers, maybe your defense can set your offense up to not like keep that in range. But Justin Jefferson is all I'm really gonna say, and maybe even Aaron Jones. I guess maybe he'll have himself a nice revenge game.
Hopefully.
But moving on.
Steelers visiting the Colts. Steelers should win this one. However, the Colts have had what is it? The Colts. Oh, there was a record thing where something was broken last year. I believe it was the Colts finally beat the Steelers. I believe it was last season. Steelers are not going to let that happen this year. If they're as good as they are, if that defense stays up to par, if Richardson doesn't develop into a pickoff machine, I don't know. I can see the Steelers winning this one by at least a score and a half.
That says a lot because it's the Steelers.
It is the Steelers, but
It's like watching Iowa.
yeah.
Yeah.
Colts are not in a favorable position to win this one.
No, they're really not, and it's just their offenses looked rough. They've relied on Jonathan Taylor a lot through the first few games. Kind of struggled to their first win, while the Steelers are high at 3-0.
Yeah.
But I just another one where I don't know why, but I have a feeling Colts are gonna pull out an upset here, so I'm going Colts.
All right. That's fair.
I don't know if it's. I can't
Gut
even say it's
feeling.
gonna be Jonathan Taylor because the Steelers have shut down.
Shut down every running.
Yeah,
so
but
far.
I think Richardson could just figure out. I feel like this is going to kind of be a Richardson better game. Not to say necessarily breakout game, but
But a better showing than he has shown recently.
past 2 weeks, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm going to go Colts. Probably going to eat my words on that one.
Yeah.
But
And then we got the Broncos and the Jets. Jets are hosting. Jets should win this one. While the Broncos have looked good, especially against the Buccaneers, I don't know if they're ready to face that Jets defense, really. That defense, while it's not great, or like the best of the best, it's still a solid defense. Bo Nix is probably going to struggle a little bit, especially with, not having a lot of options, particularly on offense. I think the Jets might do a lot against them.
yeah,
That's weird.
It's a weird case of like the Jets are really experienced.
They are a very experienced team.
Well, Denver's not so experienced.
Yeah.
I really want Denver to kind of get back at Nathaniel Hackett, but also at the same time, it's like they trash talked Nathaniel Hackett, so I also kind of want.
It doesn't really bode well for them.
Yeah, it's just because I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd be interested. I like kind of what the Broncos are doing, and I'd like to see it pay off. I also like Sean Payton,
Yeah.
but I don't see this really being a game the Broncos can pull out against the Jets. So I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Aaron Rodgers is just gonna
Jets.
work his magic. I don't know.
Yeah. We got Eagles visiting the Buccaneers. This one,
This one's tough.
yeah, especially with the showings from last week.
I say this one's tough, and then I instantly write down who I think is winning.
You think the Eagles are going to win this?
I think Eagles win largely just because they have one of the most difficult dual threat offenses between Jalen Hurts and his weapons, and then Saquon.
Saquon. You got Goddard.
And again,
Goddard's been showing up a lot lately.
and then
That tight end has been doing work.
their defense has been good. I think Tampa Bay is going to put up a fight, and I think they're probably going to put up more points on on the Eagles than we've seen past few weeks. But like all it takes for the Eagles to win this game is figure out how to actually put up the points. Your offense is driving. You're getting work in just to actually come away with points, and
Yes.
they're gonna be one of the best teams, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, again, you're a good team, I think. I don't think you're one of the greats. You got a lot stacked against you. You can lean on the fact that, again, Eagles are struggling on the offensive side, and if you can take advantage of that, force the turnovers, force them to miss out on points where you can,
Yeah.
and then take advantage where you can. You did that against the Lions. If you can do the same thing against the Eagles, you can pull out a win here. But I have a hard time seeing that be more likely. So I just see the scenario of the Eagles winning. So I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Eagles, mostly because that division in the South is actually going to be pretty competitive this year if it ends up being the way it should be, especially with the Falcons and Saints being better in recent memory. So, yeah, I'm expecting Buccaneers to put up a good fight, but with how last week has been against the Broncos, I'm not super confident in that right now. I
Red Rifle revenge game.
I don't know. With how the Bengals have looked recently, it's hard to just say, yeah, they're gonna definitely win.
I mean, other
But-
than week one, they've played them close. I think the Commanders have looked better than expected, so I think that's part of it. But obviously, again, you went against the Chiefs too.
Yep.
You played both of those close. Your concern is the defense, and after seeing what Andy Dalton just did to the Raiders, and what you just allowed against the Commanders, you kind of concerned. But I'm gonna go Cincy, but
I would not be surprised if the Panthers pull off a win here.
if Cincy blows it this week,
Oh, they're done.
I'm
They're done.
I'm not putting my faith in them to be who they are even supposed to be close to.
Yeah.
Like I'm
thought this was
regarding
gonna
them
be
as a bad
turnaround year
team.
for them, but guess not.
This is their last chance. Otherwise, you're gonna be
Out
you're
of
gonna
the
be down
playoffs.
there. So
Means they can work on their defense and O-line next year. So I'm going Cincy as well. Like I said with the Cowboys, this is a game you should win. But we know how things are.
Yep.
Looking for the last noon game, Jacksonville visiting the Texans. Jacksonville has been very unimpressive. The Texans are going to win this one.
I'm also going Texans because, what this week is for Cincy was what Jacksonville, even though Jacksonville was playing arguably the best team in the league right now.
Yes.
You just did not, you didn't even really put up a fight.
Nope.
You struggle against Houston. Houston's a good team. I still think they're a notch below those great teams. And while Jacksonville has the opportunity to be a good team, they haven't been all year, and there are a lot of things wrong, which is why they aren't, whatever. And again, they could turn things around.
Could.
It's going to come down to a lot of coaching stuff, and they're going to have to make some changes. But I'm at the point with the Jaguars where unless I see that change, I'm not going to pick them. So I'm going to go with Houston.
I'm going. Houston's going to win this one by a landslide. But yeah. Then we got
Interesting one.
the Commies visiting the Cards.
Kingsbury revenge game.
Kingsbury revenge game. I don't as impressive as I am with the Commanders from this last weekend. I don't know if they're ready for a Cardinals team right now because the Cardinals, they've got. It was weird saying this, but comparatively for the last 3 weeks, the Cardinals have had the better offense compared to the Bengals.
Bengals or Commanders?
So, like comparing the Washington matchup from last week
Okay.
to this week. Cardinals technically have a better offense stat wise and just how well they've been performing the first 3 weeks, at least in my opinion. Cardinals have been impressive. I don't think they're great, but they're definitely better than what the Bengals have been showing recently, especially with a bunch of defensive games. I do think the Cardinals, this might be an offensive battle.
Definitely could be.
It definitely could be. I do have the Cardinals winning this one, though. Commanders will keep it close. I'm confident in that. However, I don't know if Jaden Daniels is quite there yet. I don't think he's...
I mean, he's been the most impressive rookie.
Yes, he's been the most impressive rookie right now. But this is one of those games where Kyler Murray might just run a lot.
It could be.
And Harrison Jr. might catch a lot. So I don't think the Commanders are going to solidify a win this week. So
Yeah, this one's a tough
it's a
game.
toughie.
Just because it's like both teams have been kind of unexpected, and I'm going Arizona, but I'm also really concerned because of their lack of ability to close out games.
I agree.
But I feel like the Commanders are not quite as complete. But again, Cliff Kingsbury has done good things with that offense, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Commanders pulled out a win here, which would be weird because that would continue to keep them top of the
division, which is really weird, and I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. But moving on. No, this one's a very easy game. Patriots visiting the Niners. No. For the Patriots, no. I'm sorry. I mean, as impressive as you looked the first 3 weeks with your roster, but your roster is nowhere close to being that San Francisco roster, especially with, like, even though they have backups right now, no.
Yeah, this is a case of, I think it's a opportunity for a get-right game for the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not... It's a case of the Patriots could make this really close.
Mm-hmm.
49ers are banged up. They actually have to get their things right to pull this one out. It's not going to be as simple as you're just better and you can do whatever you want because, that's been the case the past few weeks and you still haven't been able to win. So you actually have to figure stuff out, but I think that they'll have every chance to. Patriots showed that if you can kind of get out to a lead, if you can pull away just a little bit, they're not built to come back against that. They don't have the high power offense for that. So you get out to 2 scores, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Exactly what Kyle Shanahan needs, someone who
don't blow a lead again.
Yeah, someone who is not susceptible for comebacks. Again, that's exactly what the Patriots are. That's perfect for, I think, Shanahan. So if he just gets out ahead, I think he'll be okay. So I'm going to go San Francisco. But if this game's close, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots pull out a win. I wouldn't be too surprised. It would just be like, San Francisco, what are you doing? What's going on? But
what are you doing?
I mean, that's kind of what it's already been. So yeah. Then there's
this is going to be an ugly matchup. Browns visiting the Raiders. Apparently, it's a lot closer prediction wise. 57 think the Browns are going to win. 57% think the Browns are going to win. I think the Raiders are going to win this one mostly because while they did lose to the Panthers, I do think that they're a little frustrated about their performance level, so they might perform better against the Browns. Also, I don't trust Deshaun Watson at all. No. You beat, I think, Browns have only beaten Jacksonville. That's not impressive. And you lost to the Giants. So I don't think you're going to win this one. I'm sorry, Browns. I don't think so. I have the Raiders. So
Yeah, it's tough because the Raiders just had an embarrassing loss to the Panthers, but
it's very difficult to
um,
say that.
I think both teams don't look great, but I think until Cleveland gets back Nick Chubb and figures out that offense,
And a new QB.
even if you figure out the offense and get Nick Chubb back, I think that the Browns could have a better chance at this one, but they don't really have those things figured out currently, so I'm gonna trust the Raiders a little bit more.
Yep.
I could see this being like an ugly,
It's going to be an ugly win.
it's gonna be really ugly.
I wouldn't be surprised if O'Connell gets thrown in as well. If Minshew doesn't do well, I wouldn't be surprised if O'Connell gets thrown in. That's if they're losing.
I think they only throw O'Connell in the case of you already know you're going to lose this game.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they're going to lose this game, they're probably going to throw in O'Connell as well. But we'll see.
If there's any chance of them winning a game, I think Minshew stays in.
Yeah.
Which I think there very well is. I'm going Raiders. So,
All right.
jeez.
The next game, we got Chiefs visiting the Chargers. I was looking up Herbert's injury update. They haven't done an MRI yet. They'll have information on Wednesday by that time. This is Tuesday when we recorded it. So if something changes, yeah. If Herbert ends up being cleared to go, it'll be a closer game, but I still think the Chiefs are going to win. I guess in any scenario, I think the Chiefs are going to win. They're going to pull out some magic, regardless of what happens. Chargers are going to lose. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's going to be an interesting game, and I think the way the Chargers are built, they definitely could win this week.
Yeah.
I'm just going Chiefs because I'm
I'm
I'm done betting against the
Yeah, I'm
Chiefs
done
until
betting.
they lose.
Yeah.
Just because.
Can it be soon, though? Because I'm tired of people saying that they're cheating. And I cannot confirm or deny that they are. But the thing is that it's getting a little suspect that they keep winning these games the way they are. But I don't know.
That's just.
It's just unfortunate
Yeah.
for everybody else. However, moving on to the Sunday night game, we got the Bills visiting the Ravens. I think I know who you're choosing,
No, you don't know anything.
and I'm going to choose against you. I think the Bills are going to win this game.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna go Bills. I'm going Baltimore because I'm a Ravens fan.
Do you think they'll use Derrick Henry correctly again for the second straight week?
I hope so. That would really help our chances. I
Yeah.
hope that they figured out what they did right and continue to do so.
As long as they don't blow another lead. If you were up.
Yeah, I don't see us pulling out as far ahead against Buffalo as we did against the Cowboys. So I think, blowing a lead is going to be a lot harder when it's as close as it's probably going to be. I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going Baltimore. At the very least, just because I'm a Ravens fan. It's hard to go either way because I don't really.
Good.
The Ravens have looked rough, but I know that they're a talented team.
Bills
Buffalo's
just look solid for the last 3 weeks. So.
Bills have just looked really good, but.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea. And then looking at the two Monday night games, the first one we have is the Titans visiting the Dolphins. If Tua was in this game, this would be a clear win for the Dolphins. But knowing how the Dolphins have been performing lately, it's kind of hard to see them winning all of those scenarios. I still think the Dolphins are going to win this one. It's just going to be really, really sloppy.
Yeah, I can see it being really sloppy. I'm curious what the quarterback position is going to look like for Miami this week because I don't really know what the case with Skylar Thompson is. Do you rely on Tim Boyle? Is Tyler Huntley really ready to go in and play? And what does that look like in a Miami scheme?
Yep.
I look at this. Both actually have really good defenses.
They do have
Both-
solid defenses. I'm just more concerned on the offensive side of the ball for both of them.
Both have looked really
They
rough
both have their
offensively.
offensive inepts.
Will Levis looked a lot better last week. He still had
Levis did
some
look better.
turnovers, but I think you're going up against a team that's, despite how good that defense does, that offense looked anemic. Like they were not able to do really anything.
Yeah.
And I think the Titans will be able to do enough to beat a shell of a Dolphins team. So I'm going Tennessee for their first win of the year.
All right.
And then on to the other Monday night game. And
All right.
this one,
Can I hear your lock on this one first?
I'm back and forth because
All right. Well,
Both have been-
I have mine.
both have been iffy. Seahawks really, really tend to win these for some reason. The Lions really struggle against the Seahawks. And the Lions have had some concerns, but also Seahawks have not been convincing in their 3-0 start. And it's just like a lot of back and forth. And I'm like questioning both of these teams currently.
For me, Seattle's going to win this one.
Oh.
Only, yeah, because, like you've already mentioned, Seattle has had a number on the Lions for so long. It's very rare that they do let up a game against the Lions. But also, Lions have currently been struggling with, I think, a couple injuries. I believe it was on the line.
They suffered a decent amount of injuries against the Cardinals.
It was, yeah, I knew that, but I don't remember who was being injured. But point still being is that those injuries are going to show up. Like, you're going to feel that during this game. Seahawks, as unconvincing as they have been with their 3-0 start, not so much against this game. I think they'll be ready. They'll be better prepared, I think, for this game, mostly because the Seahawks, for some reason, have always had a number on the Lions. Also, the Seahawks, I don't think they've had many, if not any, injuries so far. I think this is a fully healthy roster, if I recall. I don't remember if there's any Seahawk injuries. So this is the same team so far for the first 4 weeks. So if anything, I think the Seahawks are probably going to win this game. Not saying the Lions are bad, just saying I don't think they're probably going to beat this Seahawks team. So that's my pick. 82% have picked the Lions, though. So I am in the very, very small minority right now. So,
Yeah.
and it's just understandable. So,
Again, it's people are looking at the Lions as Super Bowl contenders.
which is completely valid.
And again, they've been kind of rocky out the gates, with some concerns, especially on offense. But it's just like this. I feel like this is the first time where you're not going against Pete Carroll. There's a lot that's changed on both ends. This is like your prime. I feel like your prime chance, maybe, to beat the Seahawks. But I'm also going Seattle, just because they've actually won their games. They've won all of their games. The defense looks good. They've done enough on offense to win their games. And again, like we mentioned, they've just had a number on the Lions. And it's just hard to go against that, go against what the Seahawks have done so far. Well, I guess it's not hard to go against it, but given the circumstances, I like Seattle's chances a little bit better.
This game is more of a 50-50 than anything else. I can see both teams winning, but I have the Seahawks winning this one because of history and just roster. I don't know. I think having this big of a difference between what people have picked is a little overboard. I don't think the Lions are going to win because Super Bowl contender, but also, I don't know. It's just Seahawks they've had their number on the Lions, so I'm not too surprised if they do win. So I don't care if I'm in the minority. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. So
Yep, that's kind of the same boat. It's tough picking this game.
it is very difficult.
There's a lot of tough games to pick this week. It's
A lot of interesting matchups, especially with how the first 3 weeks have gone.
Yeah, I'm excited though. I'm excited to see who actually turns out to be good.
Hey, who does it?
Yep.
That is our week 4 preview. Obviously, a lot of these games are very hard to choose from because of how disappointed we are in certain teams and how surprised we are in some teams. But how long is that going to last? We have no idea. We're probably going to look back on this in like 5-8 weeks and be like, why did we choose them to win? Because they're just so bad now. I don't know. Something like that's going to happen. So, but thank you all for joining us. We will see you guys on the live stream Sunday night against the Bills and Ravens game. Obviously, this guy's going to be rooting for the Ravens. I'll be the other side. I'll be cheering for the Bills. So, yeah. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you then. See ya.
Bye.